everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Rick Conti, and you know what? It's not just about the retail entity that I represent and more stuff that's coming up in the future for Corvette, but it is all about Corvette on this channel, so you're definitely in the right place. Other stuff I like to share is lifestyle. We've done that before in the past. You know, things you guys do to your Corvette. It's so exciting for me to do that. Well, we're actually going to do that for you today. Matt was kind enough to invite us to his home, and we're going to share with you some crazy things, many things, techie things, and things you never thought of doing to your car. He's done it. In addition, he's created something that there's only one of in the world, and it too's on point with a Corvette theme. That we're going to share with you today in the vlog. I'm so glad you took a moment out of your day to join us.
This is the fun areas down here.
Wait, what? Oh, somebody's talking to me.
Yes.
There it is.
There it is.
All right, so here he is. He was waiting in the background. So
I was in the background,
get us going. And this is what we call, well, he calls Vlog 2.0. The channel was in its infancy, and we've had Matt out and drove his car. There'll be a link down below if you want to see that first vlog. We're going to kind of cover some of that stuff again today, and some of the, I mean, since the last time you and I hooked up, you've done really, truly a long list of things to the car.
As I always say, Rick, the list of things I want to do is always longer than the list of things I've already done.
Now, speaking of list, he's got a list on the wall. Let's go see that real quick. He really does have a list. Hang on. This is cool to be here. So he doesn't forget, here's the list of things that are done to the car.
Yes, I need to have another list that says the things I want to do. I have that in my head. But
you know, it's funny, you just don't know when to stop, do you?
No.
I know.
Well, I've always told you, Rick, the only reason I keep doing it is otherwise I would come and visit you and get another car. And I want to, if I keep doing things to this one,
yeah,
I'll wait till that, right time for the next car. So
no, you've really done a good job, and that's why I'm excited to be here to share this with everybody on the channel. So you guys watching today, I'm telling you what, you're in for a treat. Don't go anywhere. This is going to be a lot of fun. Matt does a great job explaining some of the stuff he's done and why he's done it. I mean, there's like when I talk about how I order a car and why I choose options, you've chosen things on your car for specific reasons.
Yep.
And you just have a blast.
Yeah, and I always have I don't know if it's like a theorem or whatever. I said, sure, I don't ever do anything to the car that couldn't have come from the factory.
No, the garage looks great. All the pictures, your son over there.
Yeah,
big logo.
That's his car right here.
Oh.
He has a 96 C4 that after I bought mine, he caught Corvette fever virus. If he ever thinks that he wants to sell it,
right,
he won't be allowed to. He will have to sell it to me because it is not leaving. I've seen too many people regret getting rid of one of those older cars, and we're not doing that this time. So
here's some of the 6-foot trophies that you've won in the past, and there's no way you fit that in the car to bring home.
No, that's what that Prius is for. See, I still have a Prius.
Right.
If anyone knows that.
Yeah, that's how you and I got started, right?
I pulled up with a Prius and traded it in on this, back in November
that was our
14.
What do we say? We went from Prius to Power or something like that.
Yes, something like that.
Yeah, something that had to be cute, right? Okay, so let's pull this car out of the garage.
All right.
I mean, there's so much to see on this, and we'll do all we can to show you everything.
Well, this is my favorite. I love doing this, right? So,
what's that?
Let me give it the
remote start.
Oh,
wow, that's got some. Wow, what is that? What system?
It's a Borla ATAC with a Borla X pipe.
You didn't have that on last time.
Yeah,
you did.
Oh, yeah, but it's all in the tune.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say
part of the tune stuff I've done with the Supercharger. I've tuned it so I get a little bit bigger bark. Well, I didn't tune it. I had someone do it. But now, and then I also get this really nice deceleration pops, and he adjusted all that for me. And we'll talk about that. It's really cool stuff.
Those of you that didn't see the first vlog, yes, this is a Z51 Stingray, and he took a Z06 Supercharger, put it right on top of the engine. Yeah, we're going to show you that here in just a little bit. Well, first and foremost, the car is spectacular. I mean, wow. white Kalahari interior and additional white accents. We talked about this. Oh,
that was my winter, one of my winter projects.
Yeah, man.
Winter. That's white calipers. You will not see that on a factory car. But
I
it
love
looks
that.
cool.
I love that.
And people are always like, no, you can't do that. It's going to get filthy. You won't be able to clean it. Nope.
No. What'd you do?
G2 caliper paint.
Okay.
And 3 coats of Geon rim coat, which is a ceramic coating. And basically all I got to do is with the air compressor, just blow it off, or with just the spray.
Right.
Cleans them right up.
Well, you got the Corvette letters on there too. How'd you do that?
Those are high temperature decals that got off of a site on eBay that all they sell is high temp decals for calipers.
Wow, dude.
So yeah, because when I had to do it, I had to take sandpaper to the original ones.
Right.
And like once I did that, there was no turning back. I had to keep going. I mean,
right.
It was either do this or have them powder coated. And I said, you know, for $50 and a little bit of sore back,
right.
I was able to do it, and it turned out really well. Yep.
Those knockoff Z06 replica wheels look fantastic on the car. Oh, wow, man. Really nice. And it looks like you got, what do you got, all seasons on there, the tires?
These are Michelin AS3 Pluses, zero pressure.
All
so
right.
I waited to do, I used to have 2 sets.
Right.
Summer and all season, winter, I had Continentals.
Right.
But the Continentals were not run flats. And as soon as they came out with the run flats for this, I was like, okay, I'm going to one. And now I just run these all year round. I just came back from Tail the Dragon with them. They are fantastic. They're great in the rain, great in dry. They're winners, so love them.
Fantastic. All right, so some of the people that are watching, we mentioned it briefly that you added a supercharger to the engine. So let's show that real quick.
Yep. I'm
going to come on the other side here, and you can either stand there if you want and chat with us. But I thought it was a unique idea. You're the first one I know that actually did this, and you've had really good success with it.
I've had really good success with it. I had my, the guys down at Weapon X, Ben Herndon down there, and his guys did the. It was the first one they ever had done. And I had called a bunch of different places, and they were like, no, I don't think we can do that. Yeah. You know, and I called Ben, and he's like, yeah, we can do that.
Well, there's more than just actually bolting this on.
Yes,
there were some other residual parts.
Oh, there's tons, because you have to actually put adapter plates in that mate this charger to the LT1 block. Okay. So they actually have different adapter plates in there. So you need a different belt, because now it's a ½ an inch taller, so they put a different belt on. I also just recently had an expansion tank put in, which lowers my temperatures down. Oh, good. I don't do a whole lot of racing or tracking, but it dropped them by like 10 degrees. Different air intake was required, so that's a Haltech intake. New spark plugs. And then all the parts that you had, they basically were able to take all the parts that came from the Z06 and put them in there. And then this past year I had different valve springs put in. At the higher RPMs there was a little bit of valve float going on. And that took care of that. And then recently, a guy on the forum, the Corvette forum, name goes by the name of TA Kid. His name is Ben Charles. I hooked up with him, and he really refined the tune on this thing. He refined the engine and the transmission tune, and it's like a different car. So I am firmly believe, not that Weapon X was, you know, I think they had a great bass tune. But I think some of these guys are like engineers. You got to be an engineer to understand how these cars are basically computers, and what interacts with what, and torque, and engine power, and
so speaking of power, what is she pulling now?
She's doing 600 to the wheel.
Wow.
600 to the wheel, and 610 torque.
Wow.
So, and it's stupid power, I like to call it. It's stupid power.
That's all right.
Not that I need that, but it's just sort of cool and unique. And then I've done a lot of cool, I like doing the white on the inside here. And added this since the last time.
Yes, that comes all the way.
Black. So I'm always looking for things to do. I think coming up this year, maybe a custom headliner and maybe a new steering wheel. See, the list is always longer. That's what I'm saying.
I saw somebody on Facebook the other day, and it made me think of you. He had a black and white steering wheel.
Yeah. I think it's Jeff Phillips from Bad Boy Vets. Yes. Yeah, I saw it. It was cool. It was very cool looking.
Yeah, that's all you, man.
All that stuff. I make those mental notes about like, ooh, that could be good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But he still has the factory exposed carbon fiber roof. That's gorgeous. And then he emulated the Z06, Z07 package.
APR track pack carbon fiber spoiler. So
it's beautiful.
Yep, it's made to fit the Stingray. So because if you put a Z06.
She'll stick
it'll
out here.
stick out, right. I didn't want it to stick out, so that actually will work. I added these. These are APR different splash guards that are painted. And these are new. These are from ACS. These are little spoilers for that carry the line from the side skirts all the way through the rest of the car. I thought it was just a cool little addition there. So
that's neat.
Just little touches, right?
Yeah, and you've always have the tail lights blacked out. That looks great too.
Yeah, tail lights blacked out. And and then I have the ACS diffuser fins on there.
Yeah.
So just gives it a little bit more aggressive look.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. Even on the hood, let's go up here on the hood. The stuff, I mean, took the hood stinger, but then kind of, made it his own with the Stingray customization right there. And that was very nicely done.
Yep, it's just, I thought about doing the, the stripes, the Grand Sport stripes. Like, no, it's not a Grand Sport. It's do something a little.
That's always a big controversy. I mean, the Grand Sport stripes to me were made for Grand Sport.
Yes.
The guys, obviously have the fenders that fit them.
Yep.
And would put them on a Z06. So it's like, okay, are you trying to emulate Z06 or Grand Sport? What are you doing there?
Exactly. But I've added a lot of pieces from Z06. So the side scoops, the rear quarter panel side scoops are Z06.
Yeah.
The grill is Z06. The splitter is a Z06 style.
Oh yeah.
So it's just fun to. And now I have more power than a Z06. I don't know if I can get it down to the ground because the wheels aren't as big, but it's just, it's fun. It's just, what a great hobby. Best hobby I ever had.
Let's look inside too. You did that little waterfall thingy, to kind of emulate a convertible, but you put it on a coupe, but I really like that.
Yep, that is the, that's a coupe waterfall, which sort of just adds a nice little touch there.
We talked about that before, and I keep forgetting, but every time I see it, I just chuckle. As the waterfall comes over, that it has like the little simulated hood extractor vent on top of it.
And it's painted carbon flash black.
You're a pretty techie guy.
I am. I've done a lot of weird techie stuff to this stuff.
I know, that's what I want to know.
Stuff out. I just did a whole new one, so probably one of the biggest tech things was, of course, I bought in 15, which means I didn't get cameras on the front.
The front parking cameras.
Front parking cameras. So I'm like, I gotta have cameras. So I have a front parking camera that I added.
Oh, you added your own camera.
I added my own camera.
Side cameras. What are you talking about?
Left and right turned, blind spot cameras. And they're actually mounted on the inside, and we'll show you. I can show you how they come up. They actually come up. It's done with a device called a nav tool.
Okay.
And that device actually gets plugged in line to the radio and nav system.
So it'll show in the infotainment system?
Shows in the infotainment system.
My
gosh. It's all touchscreen. And I just recently upgraded to the newest nav tool, which is 5.0, which now gives me fully functioning CarPlay in a 15.
Wow. In a 15.
In a 15.
Which didn't start till 16, right?
Yeah, with none of the side effects that you get. If you take a 16 radio module, HMI module, and you put it in a 15, you lose some functionality of your magnetic ride.
Oh, okay.
You get your CarPlay, but you lose some functionality. With this, you get it all. And the great part is, Waze just launched now with the new Apple software, iOS 12.
Correct.
You can get Waze on CarPlay, which is I've been waiting for forever, and we can show that to you today. So.
Okay, and that's the other thing you just reminded me of. One of the, besides all the things you've done to the car, and I can't wait to see some of these other techie things, and that unique thing that's a one of one in the world. But you were the first client that had his hand in the air, and I mean, not even that. I mean, you were at the store. Say, hey, I want to get this magnetic ride control up there.
Yes.
And you said, Rick, what do you think? And I said, hey, I hear great things about it.
Yep.
I know you're not necessarily tracking the car, but it is going to enhance the touring mode and the sport mode and what have you. And you did that. I mean, a lot of people have been waiting. Fran, I think you're watching the channel. You've asked me constantly, Rick, what are you going to talk about the magnetic ride control? I said, I'm not. Matt's going to.
I'm going to talk about it.
So when you first got that done, I mean, did you notice the immediate effect when you pulled out of the dealership, or was it a little bit before you got home?
It took a little. It takes driving it the way you normally drive.
Okay.
And what I've found is that in touring mode, they only affected in a 15 Z51. The only programs that were affected were touring and sport.
Correct.
They did not touch the track. Calibration. So touring is definitely more plush.
Yes.
So when you're going down the road, it's definitely more cushy as you're going. It still handles, it definitely handles good.
Right.
Handles better than I think the original one. But if you're doing any kind of spirited driving, you don't want to be in touring.
Correct.
Because I've got this thing lowered all the way down on the stock bolts.
Okay.
So I've noticed that I can tell that I'm getting a lot more movement.
So if you're going to do aggressive driving, the sport mode's enhanced too, so you want to be there.
So the sport mode, I pretty much drive all in sport mode now.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah, and I just ran a whole bunch of roads down in the Smoky Mountains, and Tail the Dragon and all that, and I was in sport mode the whole time, and it was awesome.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it was like a different car compared to the sport mode before. I didn't need track mode at all.
That's fantastic.
And they actually say not to use track mode because it can wreak havoc with your suspension and your wheels and tires, because if you have bad roads, you have a better chance of causing issues with your
because it's so stiff.
So stiff. So
yeah, the track mode is really designed for the track. I try to tell people that.
Yes.
I'm glad you said that because a lot of people will be farting around, driving around on the roads, and track mode is for the track. And I tell people it's for experienced drivers too.
Correct.
I mean, you don't want that.
I think they'd say that if you go to Spring. I haven't been to Spring Mountain yet, but I think they talk about that, really, if you need to use sport mode for pretty much everything you can. But the thing I like is now I can pretty much use sport mode the whole time.
Right.
And then when my wife's in the car,
flip it over to touring.
Touring.
Right on.
Yep. Nice and comfy all the way down the road.
So there you go, Fran, and anybody else watching the magnetic ride control. I've talked about it before when I was driving Chris's car. It came out past your way, actually. And when I was going over the freeway in a Z06, I'm like, wait a minute. I could really feel that cushiness that you referred to, and it's noticeable. So it's standard on 19s. It's backward compatible to anybody that's got magnetic ride control. 14, 15, 16, what have you.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. So it's cool to do. It's really nice that GM did that, because I think they always say, well, if you got a 15, you're out of luck. That's it. You don't get anything that went
you're
forward.
right. Yeah, everybody would get mad when you go to the bash events and they say, here's the new stuff coming for next year. And you're like, oh my gosh, I just got my car. I can't get any of that.
Exactly.
Well, that's nice.
It was good that they did that. And there's some aftermarket. DSC Sport makes an aftermarket chip for the magnetic ride that's out there. And I think they had a lot of people that are buying that and found a lot of really great results. So maybe GM sort of took notice to that and says, hey, maybe if these guys are saying lots of cool results with a little tweaks to our program, maybe we should do it and charge a crazy number for a few programming codes.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's face it, this is a computer on wheels.
Yes.
All right, so what's some of the other techie stuff you did? Because I remember you were in for service. You got some, what's this little thing up on the dash?
So, every Corvette owner has leaving their car anxiety. Okay, and what that is when you take you have to figure out, like, all right, if you don't daily drive it, I don't daily drive it, but I've had it for 3 years and I have 27,000 miles, so I drive it a lot.
Yeah, you're driving it enough.
Yeah. So whenever we go out to a restaurant or take to the store to get grocery, I've done that.
Yes.
I'm like, oh God, I'm leaving it in the parking lot and like bad things will happen. So I was worried about it. Well, now, and I always wanted to get a dash cam.
Okay.
But the problem is they're all like Wi-Fi, and that doesn't help you if you're somewhere else other than near your house.
Okay.
So this company called Owlcam created a dash cam that is LTE. So it works, it has a cellular plan built right into it, so it's 24/7 security.
Oh wow.
So I can see it live on my phone. I can pull up, I have an icon right on my phone here.
And what does it do? What is it? I mean, it shows.
So it shows me a GPS of where I am and where my car is, and obviously we're right next to each other here.
Okay.
And then if I want, all I got to do is hit this outside cam button if I want to see a live view. That's a live view. You can hear it. That's a live view of me looking at. So if I'm in the restaurant eating my food, I'd be like, "Who's jagging with my car?" No one.
All right, here. Let me put your hood down.
Yeah. So you can
all right.
see.
So it's a live view.
Yeah.
I didn't close it all the way. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna walk in front of it.
Yeah.
And it sees me.
It sees you. There you are.
All right. Come on over here. Let me.
Here we are.
This is crazy.
Hi.
I don't know if you can see me. Here we are. Hey guys.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, so we have to like get down. There we are.
There we go.
Now we're in
Hey
the
guys.
woods. Yeah, exactly.
So you could be eating dinner.
Yes, and it will alert you. So it has a motion sensing around your car, front and rear. It will send you an alert that will say, hey, someone touched your car, someone backed into your car, someone got near your car, and it sends you a thing, and it'll bring it up, and then
Oh my
I can
gosh, I hope
obviously.
this is turning out on the vlog, because you're cracking me up.
So
right now.
this is the inside view.
And I don't mean to laugh at it, but
Yeah.
it's bizarre to me because I've never seen anything like that, and I do think it's cool, but it's hilarious at the same time.
It's cool, and it's
Yeah.
and the thing is, if you go to their website, they show you all kinds of people that like try to break into cars, and it catches them. It lights them up. So like I shot one time, like the first week I got it, there was.
So somebody
see
walks
how
by the
tell
car.
You it says like alert. Like I walked by the car one night, and it says, "Oh, alert! Was that an impact?" Because I went and I got in front of the car. Now, if you have your phone with you, it recognizes you're okay.
So
and
if
it
you
will
walk past the
send you
car with your
one.
phone on you,
Yes.
it would know that. But if you
Yes.
walk by the car without your phone,
Yes.
it will send you an
It
alert.
will send me an
That was
alert.
going to be my question.
And
Will
then
it just pop up if somebody walks
Yeah,
by?
sends
So
me a
just
text alert on my watch or on my phone. Yeah, and then the great part is, at night, it has this bright. If you get in the car and you're trying to like steal a car, it lights you up and and you're on video, and it sends it to the cloud. So you got the guy's face. You got him.
oh wow.
So it's really a
Wow.
great security camera. If you're driving with it and you see somebody cut you off, or you can just say "Okay, presto," and it will automatically take a clip, like 30 seconds before and 30 seconds after you say it.
So you'll have that.
So you have it,
For
and then
proof.
if you want, it'll hold the last 24 hours up in the clouds. If you like, oh yeah, I remember that thing, you can go back online and pull it down. So
No kidding. Now, did you do the installation on
Yep.
that? Did you really?
yeah, simple installation. They have this great little arm here,
Yes.
and it sort of wedges down into like between the dash and the glass. And there's a cord that goes down. It just runs along the front of the dash, and it actually plugs into the ODB2 port for
Okay.
power. It
I was going to ask you, are you worried about draw or anything?
No, it
on that?
has. It goes to sleep. It will not. And then if your battery gets too low, it'll turn off. It'll go into super sleep mode. So it will not drain your battery at all.
Oh my gosh.
But it'll wake up if it detects
Somebody walking past it.
somebody walking past it or.
Did I tell you guys? Did I tell you?
Every Corvette
things that you
owner-
may never do to your car. He did it. I've never seen that. Now, if you've seen that out there, that's great. But I thought that was just intriguing to share with you. And he makes up a good point. A lot of you walk to the restaurant, you're walking, and it's to look back,
you
and
look
it's to look back, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, that guy just parked back to me. Here, you go into the restaurant. I'm going to go move the car. you come back. But I mean, having that feature. Man, I don't even know what to say. I think it's pretty
Hotel
cool.
is even better.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, we were just down in Tennessee.
Sure.
I park it in a hotel.
Yeah.
Somebody was staying in a hotel, parked right near me, and it went off, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? There's just somebody getting out of the car. Then I got an alert at 2 a.m. And I was like, what's going on at 2 a.m.? Well, I had, not knowing, of course, parked right next
Sure.
to the sprinklers. And the sprinklers went on. And it, of course, picked that up. So not only did I have to clean the car after,
Right.
I got an alert that I was getting sprinkled
Oh, dude, that's
by the
hilarious.
hotel sprinkler system.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
This is really, really fun, and we haven't even gotten the car to drive it yet. I'm going to ride and let him drive. Now, you got more tech. I'm going to let you. What else have you done? my man?
The other thing I have, so I have a splitter on my ODB2 port because I have the power going to the owl cam.
Okay.
And then I have a dash logic device.
Okay, what's that?
The dash logic device goes in and allows me to see information about what's going on with the car in the computer.
Okay.
And it shows it right in the dash.
Oh, really?
So I can see what my boost is. I
And
can see
the center cluster over the
Yes.
steering wheel or the infotainment?
No, and the center cluster.
Oh, my gosh.
So you switch to nav.
Okay.
And it sort of takes over that screen.
Wow.
And then I can see any parameter you can think of that's in the engine. You know, I can look at temperatures. I can look at gearing. I can look at air to fuel ratios. I can look at anything. Transmission temps.
That's incredible.
Oil temps, oil pressure. I can see spark timing. If I get any knock, it'll give me a warning. So I
Oh,
can
wow.
adjust if we need to adjust a tune at all. So yeah, that's pretty cool too. So
You need to be working for GM. I'm telling you that right now. If
would
the
be a
guys from
dream job.
Chevrolet
That
are
would
watching
be a
this right
dream
now,
job.
everybody's listening to GM. Go ahead and email me. I'll give you Matt's number because I'm sure he'd love to ride around on a laptop and give you some analysis on what they're doing.
We could do that.
Right.
I have my own laptop, and I have a
Should've
program
known.
called HP Tuners, which is what is used to tune these cars.
Right.
And I bought it. Ben down at Weapon X says, you need to have a copy of that in case something you never need us to do something or you need
Oh.
a tune. They just email it to me,
Oh.
and I plug in the interface, and I upload it to the car, poop, poop, done.
Wow,
and I get a new tune.
You don't have to go 2.5 hours down to Cincinnati.
That's correct.
Wow.
Yeah. So when I was working with this new guy, Ben Charles, you know, we went through seven iterations of tune before we were all dialed in.
Wow.
And it's like amazing. We got, you know, the torque converter issues with some of the 15s and 16s.
Some of them, a bunch of them.
A lot of them.
Right.
So I was getting a little bit of that. Now I don't have any V4, V8 anymore. That was tuned out when I did it. So I'm a V8 all the time.
Okay.
But every once in a while I could tell I was getting a little shudder, a little weird stuff. So basically I had him turn the torque converter off until 7th and 8th gear. And then I had him raise the shift points because it would lug. People that have automatic transmission, I know it likes to get into 8th gear like fast.
Right.
And I had him delay all that.
Wow.
So I get more, I'm a little bit more power, a little bit, it's not lugging as much. And then that torque converter only kicks in and, you know, past 53 miles an hour. So it's like, I never get, and it's perfect, you know, when you're paddle shift, you don't get that, any of that note that you're getting that extra torque converter stuff. So hopefully I have to come in and have Chuck do a transmission flush because it's going to be 30,000 miles. So he's going to get that this winter. So
a new filter, new flush and all that.
Yes.
And that's kind of what they're doing right now.
Yeah, they are doing some of that. So,
Right.
but other than that, no other issues. So
it is beautiful. Look at this car, guys. I mean, I haven't shown the car enough. It is going to start getting dark here in a minute, but I mean, here you can see a little more of the accent. Those white calipers on the wheels. His custom supercharged Z51 badge. That's incredible. I mean, just little touches. Everything is purposely placed on this car, and Matt has done just a great job.
the only thing I really haven't done is a wide body
Yeah.
conversion, but I'm not going there. I'm just going to wait till there's this other new car that might be coming that might eventually get a wide body.
Right. I think you spent enough right now to actually buy a Grand Sport.
Exactly.
Right, that's okay.
I
But
know.
no, this is still.
But I learned.
Yeah.
See, I learned the GM way of doing things. Because if you look back at C5 and C6 and C7, how they roll these cars out
Their
in the different
historical
models,
progression, yes.
I don't believe they're going to do anything different for C8. I think we're going to see that same progression, very
what?
similar.
You know what though? And I was just talking, I'm glad you mentioned that, and we'll kind of get off and talk about his car for a second, because I think, and I mentioned this in one of the vlogs I did recently, and I think, yes, everybody anticipates that, and that almost sometimes disrupts the retail and disrupts production. I think GM needs to throw a curveball and come shooting with the big daddy right out of the gate. Here comes the big daddy. Here you, whoa, wait a minute.
Right.
You know, Z06, ZR1, whatever they're going to call it. Come with that one, and then have the trickle down, so you have, you know, some emotion or some tie into that car just to get one, you know, whatever model it is. It'd be the trickle down model that'd be a little more affordable, but come with the most expensive one. Come with the big daddy right out of the gate. The Zora, big daddy, the Zora car. Come with the Zora car first.
The ZR1 version of
Because
the
I've heard
C8.
so many people say that, you know, and you're right. I mean, historicals are proven.
Yep.
You know, here's the base car, then you step up Z51, then you go this, and you go this, and the Grand Sport, and blah, blah, blah. You know, so.
I just got to figure that they like selling cars.
Right, exactly.
And if they want to sell 35,000 cars a year,
or more.
I don't know if they do that by putting out the big daddy on the first time around.
Well, and
because,
that would,
you know, like ZR1, it's just priced out. You know, when you're at 140 grand for a ZR1, that takes a lot of the Corvette owner market out.
And here's the thing too, they wouldn't be able to do a lot of volume in that. But I mean, here, if you had the big Zora car debut, the new era of the car, and people are like, hey, now I can't afford that one, but boy, I just like to have some derivative of a mid-engine car, and then here they come and then start making them more affordable and increasing the volume. So I mean, almost kind of spin doctor it.
Right.
I mean, I'm a marketing guy, so that's stuff I'm thinking about, and really who knows what they're doing, because we talked just recently in the vlog, they are so tight-lipped, nobody can really get a pulse on that. GM kind of likes that. Although they like you talking about the car, they don't want you to know everything about the car.
Right.
And they sit back and probably sit in a room and laugh, or if we say something that we shouldn't say, throw them popcorn at the screen or something, you know, but whatever. It's the mystique, and it's the enjoyment, it's the attachment that we have.
Fun. It's going to be a fun next 3 months. What do you think?
I think it's going to be a fun next 5 years, man. There's some stuff coming, dude. 3 months. It is going to be a wild ride.
Yes.
It really is.
Yeah.
Okay, you've done more techie stuff to this car.
I've done,
Anybody getting dizzy yet? Anybody getting dizzy yet? I told you, this was worth a trip.
I need to go look at the list, because maybe I did something I don't remember.
Let's go look at the list. You want to go look at the list? No, he's kidding me. Sometimes you forget, you know. He's like, hey, look at the list. Okay. Also, there's the lights you were talking about?
Yeah, so like if you're an intruder at night and he's broken your window.
Look at that. You just touch a screen, so this is the interface?
So this is the interface with the nav tool. So basically you just touch this invisible button up here and hold it for 3 seconds. And now I have a whole interface. So,
GPS connected.
and my radar detector is connected. Okay, so I can look like out of my front camera if I select it. There's my front camera. I can go to my left camera. Go to my right camera.
Oh, those are the ones in the side of the quarter windows?
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and then it'll automatically do the left and the right if you're over 15 miles an hour.
Okay, so if you're driving, because for years everybody's been asking for a side blind zone alert.
Oh yeah, you see.
I mean, that's essentially that with the camera.
Yep.
But when you're driving down the road, I mean, that'll come on.
Yep. You'll
so
see
you,
it.
so you
Yeah,
can
you'll
see,
see
so
it.
you don't
Oh, yeah.
you don't hit somebody. Oh my gosh.
Yep. I'll plug my phone in for CarPlay. All right. So here's I have a CarPlay line that comes that I ran underneath through here, and then I have 2 cords. I have a non-CarPlay power cord and a CarPlay power cord, and then I just let it.
And keep in mind, guys, he's got a 15, so CarPlay wasn't available. This is all stuff that he's added.
Correct. So we'll see if it's actually there. It is. But yeah, it'll pull up everything. I can pull up my your tune-in radio, whatever, and then basically it's people are like, well, it swipe like the new screen. Yeah, it swipes just like the other ones. You can bring it all in there, and then when you want to return back, you just go back, and then you can go back to your normal stuff.
Oh my gosh! Now you mentioned something too. Actually shows up there in the dash
so
cluster.
You see right here in the dash cluster.
Yeah.
I have 8 different screens I can pull up. So this is number 1, which shows me my boost and my IAT at the blower, and then the IAT on the intake manifold. So, and those are the temperatures right there. And then I just hit this lock button here, and now I can see my throttle and my computer throttle and my pedal throttle. You see it go up. So I can see it change. And then 3rd page is my horsepower, my torque, and my load on the engine, because that's it calculates the load. And then that's my rail pressure, my fuel rail pressure, which is sort of a technical thing about how you get the fuel. Because when I did the supercharger upgrade, they had to put Z06 injectors and fuel pump in there.
Correct.
Because it was running out of fuel at the top area. So, and then I just cycle through. There's my trans temp, my coolant temp, oil pressure, oil temperature, fuel level, what I'm burning per gallons per hour, and then my knock retard. If I ever get any knock, it'll record it. And then that's my spark. So there's my spark predicted, and then spark real, and then any misfires. If I ever get a misfire, it'll put it on there.
And you change all those pages.
Doing with the lock button here.
Wow.
Yep. And then the other thing that I can control with the left and right mirror buttons.
Yes.
I can control the exhaust. I can go to stealth mode, tour, and then actually it gives you that ability, which is cool. Most of the time, I have a mild to wild on it, so it's just on all the time. And but when my wife's in the car and we're driving, it's whoop. We got to flip those things to
You got stuff I never thought they would, but you're gonna have to rewrite the owner's manual.
It's fun. Let's go for a ride.
All right, brother.
So we'll see when we pull up here. You'll see the left-hand turn. You'll see the camera will come on.
The camera will come on here.
Yeah.
Oh, so it comes on when you.
Left hand, and now I can see what's.
Oh, you don't even have to prompt it.
No.
Oh, wow.
If I'm changing lanes.
Gotcha.
That's probably the biggest thing. When I change lanes on the freeway, I can see.
Sure.
Just to make sure there's nothing in that blind.
Yeah, more importantly, that's when you want it. As you're changing lanes, and you'll see if anybody's there. It shows up right there, then
Exactly.
you know if you're good to go to make the change. That's pretty neat. I like that a lot. Like I said, I think GM's going to get some ideas
They'll
from
get
you.
some ideas. Well, they probably already. The tech that's going to be in the C8
Yeah.
is going to be just nuts.
Yeah,
it's going to be nuts.
They're talking about an iPad type of thing here and all.
I saw that, like a
Somebody
big
drew
old
it.
flying buttress thing going
Yeah.
on. Yeah. So you're going to see all kinds of cool stuff in that car. It's going to make me jealous. For sure.
Why would you be jealous?
Because I want it. I'm a techie guy. I'm gonna want it. Yeah. So it's nice living sort of in the country because there's lots of roads you can take where there ain't no one.
I'm just looking. Your camera is actually on.
Yes.
Right now.
Yeah. Mhm. It's recording everything.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, it's a dash cam. So so I can just say, "Okay, presto," and it makes a clip and sends it to my phone. I just love driving this car. It's the best thing. People ask me, what's the greatest thing about owning it?
Driving it. Come on.
Dude, that is a
Driving it.
great answer.
That's it. There's no other reason to own it. Not like going to car shows, short car shows, right, Rick? I do like doing that, and you know, but there's nothing. You know, if I could not have to work for the next 2 weeks and I got paid and didn't affect anything, I'd take this thing like, I'd be gone. I'd be like, let's go.
Well, I hope that people that are watching right now kind of feed off your energy, and we've talked about that a number of times. Get out and enjoy your car and drive your car. That's truly what it was meant for.
Track of, you know, I always looking at my temperatures, because the higher your IAT temperatures are, the more it will retard the spark and reduce power. That's what those Z06 guys are always complaining about when they take the 15 Z06 on, or 15 and 16 Z06 on a track. They lose power, and that's part of one of the reasons is is watching those temps, and they're tracking them. They're not able to cool it off fast enough, so that's why they get different radiators and different cooling, extra coolant in there. But for me, I'm just driving normal, so it doesn't really bother me.
Wow.
That was fun.
That was great.
Smooth, so smooth now. The latest tune is just so smooth. It was just power everywhere, power all the way through.
So that little acceleration playtime that we had.
Yeah.
What happened to the boost?
Well, I have a ported Z06 blower, so I can get a little bit more air going through there.
Okay.
So I was over 12 and a half pounds of boost on that. So that's good. But I'm not overdriving the supercharger. I don't have smaller pulleys or anything like that. I'm just getting I'm getting more boost out of it. Probably because I still have stock manifolds and headers. If I had aftermarket headers, I probably would have a little less boost. But normal stock boost on a Z06, around 9, 8 to 10, somewhere around there. So you're going to feel a little bit more. Plus, with 740 foot-pounds of torque at the crank, that you really can feel it. So.
Oh yeah, I felt it.
Yeah, it was fun. Then you can do you can do crazy stuff, right? You can go like, oh, let's really make ourselves go crazy and look at the front camera while we're driving. No, don't
exactly
do that.
what GM didn't want you to do.
Don't
right?
do that. No, don't do that.
Matt was just telling us, you can actually plug in and watch a movie because of the nav tool, but what you were saying earlier as far as the installation part is what
turn right on Links Drive,
which blows people away.
Yeah, it takes, you have a lot of wiring. It's all plug and play harnesses.
Okay.
But you gotta rip out you gotta get behind the footwell on the passenger side, because there's a radio module under there, and then you gotta get to the HMI module that's underneath on the fender well here.
Turn right
So,
on Collingwood
and then you got
Road.
harnesses that gotta go back and forth. So you gotta use a coat hanger to get it through the center stack.
Oh, man.
So it's a lot of work. And then you got to run power to all the cameras and get that into the fuse box, because you got to get power to all this stuff. So, yeah, so it's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun. And, my wife hates when I start tearing the car apart. She's like, you're going to break something. You're going to start swearing. She's right.
Your driving skills aren't so bad either. You're getting pretty good there.
I had a lot of practice doing, when you run roads in the Smoky Mountains and do all that stuff,
right.
You get a little practice. But I will tell you, these, obviously people go to Spring Mountain and they come back and they say, the car can do so much more than my brain thinks it can do.
Right.
And that's still absolutely the case.
Right.
There's no doubt I'd love to go out there someday and do that. And because it's just, that's the difference between me driving this car and people driving on a racetrack, is that they know the limits of the car. They know how it works. My brain still says at some points, you can't do that.
Well, the problem is, and you could feel it, is this car so easy to drive that sometimes you
you could easily
you boost your confidence and you're like, whoa, wait a minute. Right.
Yes, especially with 700 horsepower.
Yeah,
that's you don't want to mess around too much with that. So, but the tires, I love the all seasons. They really are nice. They work great. And I can use them all year round, because I never put my car away. There's no winter. If it's 0 degrees and the roads are clear and it's sunny out, we're going for a 200-mile drive.
I love it.
Because that's what you got to do when you own these. You got to drive it, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Stop dreaming. Stop dreaming. And start driving. There you go.
Yeah, baby.
You didn't pay me to say that either.
No, not at all.
That was good.
So we just got back.
We're back.
We're back.
We're alive.
And he opens up the hood, whoosh, turns on that fan. There's some air moving in the garage to cool down the engine.
Yes. It's great in the winter.
Yeah.
Because this is insulated garage, and I have a heater, so I'm out here all winter when I do stuff, things on jack stands, painting calipers, and
right,
changing brakes and doing all that kind of stuff. So
no glare, you can actually get a little better look at this engine. Isn't this great, guys? Wow.
fun areas down here.
Okay. So it looks like my office. I love it.
Right, it's like the Rick Conti mini. It's like you know how museums allow like loan outs to like other exhibits? This is like my Rick Conti small version.
This is awesome. I love this, how this is displayed. Got them at an angle. There's
they're all generations, so it starts with like prototypes and then works its way from C1 all the way to C7.
That looks great.
Oh. Yeah, you know what that is? I just picked that up. I was just at the museum like last week. So
you get some sinkhole.
I had to get some sinkhole dirt.
For $10, why not? Right? Yeah, I got some sinkhole dirt. Right.
Yeah. Oh,
wait, what? Oh, somebody's talking to me.
Yes.
There it is.
There it is.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's on like a loop, so you know I can. When it sits by itself, it just goes and plays little video clips of all the games that are on it.
Okay, so you made all this, huh?
So I bought the cabinet.
Okay.
It's a plain cabinet.
Okay.
And and then I bought the buttons and the joysticks and everything that comes with it. And then on the, under the hood, this is a Raspberry Pi. I don't know if it's basically, for people who don't know what that is basically a main board, a processing board out of a cell phone. And that's what runs all this stuff.
How many games you got on there?
26,000.
What?
26,000 games.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah, so if we go to all games on this image, there's 26,908 games. Yeah, so I did, so a lot of it's, you can learn how to do a lot of it, but there's so many websites out there where all these guys work hours and hours putting these images together. And this is runs on a micro SD card. It's a 256 gig image I downloaded. I just plug it into the Raspberry Pi, boot it up, and I got games. So anyone can do it. It's simple, it's not hard.
Wow.
The fun part was creating the graphics. I sort of like doing Photoshop and that type of stuff.
Sure.
So GM should not listen to any of this because I just pirated all their logos and pictures of cars.
Well, like you said earlier,
I don't think they'll mind.
You're not selling it, so
no,
it doesn't matter. No,
it's amazing when I put this out on Facebook how many people wanted to buy one.
Oh, I know. I put the little teaser that I was coming here, and you saw some of the comments.
Somebody says I want to buy one.
Right.
How do I get one?
Yeah.
I'm a big PC gamer, so I can add. You can add like a keyboard and mouse to it. And bring out all those PC games from the 90s and 2000s and see all that. So, but yeah, if I want to play, Nintendo Entertainment System, I'll click it and then I can go in here and then say, all right, I want to jump to the letter C. Wonder why I want to go to letter C. And then I can scroll down. And these are all the games that are in there, basically.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, look at that. Corvette ZR1 Challenge. Beep. And then you just hit the button, and now it will load that Nintendo game that apparently was. I never knew it existed.
No,
it was made in 1991. Milton Bradley. This is the actual game that was. You plug your cartridge in, and there it is.
There you go.
There it was. You hit start, and and then you pull up, and then it's like, all right, I got to see if I can do this. This is great. I have an automatic, not a stick shift, so I might not do this well. Let's see here.
Is that you?
It's them.
Oh. So
Come on.
are you gonna?
Oh, I'm up here. I'm the idiot up here. Oh, there I am. All right. I got to be in second gear. Okay, there. I'm in second gear. And then there's the shifter thing there. I got to figure out how to get third. Okay, I'm in third. I'm on the throttle. All right. I'm way behind. This guy's kicking my ass. But, you know, it's just fun. It's just nostalgic kind of stuff.
What about asteroids? You got asteroids? I loved asteroids.
I got everything.
All right, Ricky's got to try a little.
You want to do like
asteroids.
asteroids from the arcade? Like when you went in, pumped your quarters in?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So yeah, we'll go back. Okay, asteroids. So this is cool. I love it. It gives you a little description of, you know, the game. It has a little video snap in there, you know, of the actual game, and then it's like you just hit it and you see how it says coin? So we have to add a coin. So we hit the coin button.
Okay, so you don't actually have to add
No
money.
coin. They make ones that you can actually put coin. Gracie. All right, so we're gonna push start, and there you go. So you got to sort of see, one of these is your shoot, and one of them is your disappear, and then
I forgot about
and
the
then one of them is
disappear
your thruster. There's Rick, reliving his childhood.
Oh, and one of these buttons is my thruster?
Yeah, what?
Oh, here it is.
Yeah, dude.
Oops, I just hit the wrong thing.
Game over.
Okay, it's been 30-some years, you guys.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, you got it.
Oh, I didn't want to do that one.
It's good stuff. That's why. So you have to. It's like a learning curve. You got to figure out which buttons are doing what, and.
Oh.
It's awesome.
And so you got logos of all
Yep.
the years of Corvette down
Yep.
there. Oh, look at that.
And then the other side is the actual years again, but the cars. And the cars again are up front here, and then the logos are on the main control panel.
Look at this now. He just told me he has every handheld Mattel game from the 70s.
Yes, Mattel and Coleco.
Now, I used to stay up in my
Yes.
bed at night, and then I played until the point I got really good at this, and
Yes.
actually saw, you know, I wanted to see how high I could get the
Yeah.
score, and it didn't go to 100 and went
Right,
to 99 and started over.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so I do that, and then I have some of the actual old systems over here. You know, an original 2600. This was the first computer I ever had, which is a Atari 800. And then some of and I have a real CRT. You got to play some of these things on a CRT.
Oh, wow.
Thank goodness for Craigslist. You can find a CRT these days. So
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is pretty cool, man. Way to go, Matt.
So it's fun.
Oh yeah, it is. I didn't even know they had this bigger one.
Yeah.
I've never seen
that's
that.
a Coleco. It's a Coleco Super head-to-head total control something. Yeah.
Wow, dude, that's incredible. All right, gang. So what did you think of today's upload? Did you have a lot of fun? Is your head spinning? It should be. He did an incredible job. Things that you would probably never do to your car, things that you want to do to your car, Matt's got it covered.
I'm crazy.
And then this thing back here, that's just incredible, man. But I'll tell you what, you've been a great customer. You've been a good friend.
Oh, you too, Rick.
But thank you for having us to your home.
Yeah.
And sharing this and just being a couple of big kids sharing the Corvette lifestyle right here in the vlog. So don't forget, we're gonna do more of this kind of stuff. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, you thumbs up this particular video. Everybody give Matt a big round of applause.
Woo! Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
It was fun.
You did a great job.
It was fun.
Thank you. I really
Thank you,
appreciate
Rick.
that.
I appreciate it.
What an honor. Awesome.